Hello everyone and welcome to the video about mollusks. Mollusks are a very diverse and interesting group of animals. So the the three classes of Phylum Molluska are chitins, scapholopods, and gastropods. So chitins are from class Polyplacophora, and I'm going to pull a picture right now. So these are chitins, and so these are basically they have flattened bodies and they have 8 shell plates held together through griddle. It's produced by the mantle. So you can see here. So we have a little clam friend to help point out all of the different little sections. These are all actually valves. So they're definitely not bivalves, that's for sure. More like octavalves. Anyway, I think I'm so funny. So they have a large flat foot as well. I'm going to pull up a picture of the anatomy. These are also known as class poly. Sorry, I forget. I have to look it up. Class Polyplacophora, and the basic anatomy that you should know is the foot, which helps with locomotion. The valves, which are all of these, which I pointed out before, and that it has the head over here, the mouth over here, the radula. It has a little salivary gland, and but it's not pictured, and then the anus over here. So then it also has a digestive gland. That's all you really need to know for this one. Also, that the mantle creates these valves. Don't mind the video quality or picture quality. But these are the lovely scapholopods. So scapholopods, scapho meaning sheath and poda meaning foot, are commonly called tusk shells, and they derive their name from the shape of their shell, which resembles the elephant tusk. Some other fun facts about these little guys: they have a tube-like ending at both ends, opening both ends, and their shell helps them burrow. Also, the large mouth, as you can see. They also have smaller opening, which expels waste and takes in oxygen. So this is the anatomy of scapholopods. So as you can see, it has the long tusk-like shell. It has the anus, which is actually right here. It's in the middle. It has the shell opening over here, which it allows it to expel water and sand. Then the gonad, of course, which are all mollusks, I believe. And it has a foot here, which aids in locomotion. Then the mouth is right over here. Some more information about these bad boys. The molluscan shell is actually produced by the animal's mantle and is composed of 3 layers. One, which is the layer of protective protein called the periostracum. 2, the prismatic layer that makes up the bulk of the shell. And 3, a smooth inner nacreous layer. The tube-like opening at both ends, with the animal's foot as well, is used for burrowing, and as said before, water enters and exits at the smaller end, bringing in oxygen and removing wastes. So they typically bury themselves in bottom sediments ranging from the intertidal zone to several thousand meters deep, where they feed primarily on foraminiferans. These scapholopods use their foot or special tentacles that emerge from the head to capture their prey. As you can see, the special tentacles over here in orange protruding. Next up are the gastropods. And I have a little gastropod friend to help me with this little clam. So gastropods can either be univalve shells and slugs, or the bivalve shells, as pictured here. So some little Facts about gastropods: they're known as stomach foot. Most have shells, although some don't actually have shells. They're microscopic, anywhere from the microscopic size to 3.3 feet. They have a variety of habitats, and excuse me, they live. They can live anywhere from the beach, like right on the beach, to the ocean bottom. It's crazy. Some even live in the open water, which is the most large expanse of habitat on Earth. And then they have one shell. One shell is univalvular, which means they have one valve, and they could be coiled or uncoiled. As you can see, this one's coiled. Some are not. So that's what here is one that's not coiled. So they come in a large array, and some don't even have the shells, as you can see over here. So they're very diverse. The univalvular ones, they they can wow they grow by whorls, and their whorls get larger each time by making the gastropod larger. The oldest is at the top, and the newest is at the bottom. So up here is like the first growth, and then as it goes down each whorl, that's the newest growth. So it's the opposite of our fingernails. The oldest part of the fingernail is the tip rather than the base, which the base would be considered that. So that is the univalvular. And they actually can hide in their shells, as you could see with sand crabs, or hermit crabs rather. They hide in their shells. And snails as well do the same thing. So then, for feeding and nutrition, they can be herbivorous, which that means they would have fine algae scraped off of the rocks. They're called grazers. And then they could be carnivorous, where they follow chemical scents and trails in water. They extend their proboscis to help locate, and a whelk can actually locate 90 feet away. It's pretty cool. And it takes a few days to move 90 feet, but some can, so some of their food will not be still there at the time they eat it. So some can actually chase down urchins and eat their insides, which is lovely. They can also eat colonial cnidarians, which include corals and anemones. Or no, not anemones. They are not colonial. So they could eat coral. Whelks can actually open up clams, and they can actually eat live fish. So some are also scavengers, which is pretty self-explanatory. And some are deposit feeders. Some are even suspension feeders, where they have gills that help bring in food particles from water. And they can also be called filter feeders. Then there are naked gastropods. They you could see them over here. An example of a naked gastropod. That sounds so wrong to say, but anyway. Some can be nudibranchs, aka naked gills. They have the naked gastropods have a lack of shell. They typically bring bright colors and bizarrely shaped animals to their environments, which are them. That was a really weird way of saying it. They are typically bright in color and bizarrely shaped. There we go. They have crazy extensions that are gills and appendages. And they have serrata, which are skin projections that help increase the surface area. So I'm going to upload a picture because they're really cool. So these are the naked gastropods. And some can actually have the stinging cells into their serrata after they eat. So that can be seen like over here. They have the stinging cells inside of their serrata. And some can even harness the power of chlorophylls because they eat so much algae. You can see green ones. They're very cool. For the reproduction and development of these, their sexes are different. In most gastropods, they have internal and external fertilization, and some are hydrophrontites, which means they have internal fertilization. and they have 4 methods of locomotion.